This is Tarheel Talk, an in-depth look at the issues and people making news in North Carolina. Here's your host, Sonya Williams.
According to the U.S. Census Bureau, 24 million children in America, that's 1 out of 3, live in homes where the child's biological father is absent. On today's show, we follow up on an organization designed to help absent fathers reconnect with their children and become better parents. Joining me now is the founder and executive director of the organization, Glen. Also joining us is Lillian Overton, director of Wake County Child Support Enforcement. Thank you both for being here.
Glad to be here.
Now, Glen, we talked with you about 2 years ago about your organization, Fathers Forever. You founded this organization for some very personal reasons. You saw firsthand what it feels like to be a single parent, and the struggles not only financially but emotionally. Tell us a little bit about the organization and how it all came about.
Well, my own personal story, I was a single father and with 3 kids, and I raised them. My youngest daughter was 7 at the time. My middle son was 9. My oldest son was 11, and I found myself raising 3 kids. My ex-wife was part of the family, but I was pretty much raising kids on my own, and I struggled with that financially and emotionally for a while. And then I always kind of been involved in men, try to empower men. And once my kids kind of graduated and got out of the house, I decided I wanted to do something to give back to the community, not only my own personal story, but also how men struggle sometimes and not really getting a handout of what to do with their life and how to do it. So I started this organization to help guys who are struggling financially, can't find a job, got criminal records, and also struggling with being a father. And so I started that to try to help them be better fathers. And for the last 2.5 years, it's been very rewarding working with these fellas, working with these guys.
Okay. I want to go back to a statistic that I mentioned at the beginning of the show. 24 million children in America live in homes where that child's father is absent. Lillian, that is an enormous amount of children. How do those numbers play out in Wake County?
You're correct. Right now, our office handles about 22,000 cases. They're open, active cases. And if you look at having to talk to the mother and the father in the cases in order to establish a child support order, that equates to about 44,000 people just in Wake County alone that we would be talking with and working with to work to establish the child support order.
Now, how does the Wake County Division of Child Support Enforcement work directly with Fathers Forever?
When it was interesting how we found out about Fathers Forever, we did meet about 2 years ago, and to me, Glen's whole approach in looking at the issues about fathers was very different. And to hear his own story that he raised his own 3 kids, he told a story about having to learn how to cook for them. Some of the simple basic things that you wouldn't even think about, he was telling us stories about. I invited him to the office to talk to our staff, and it just sounded like such a wonderful organization where some of our non-custodial parents could actually benefit through going through his program. And they have.
And how are the fathers connected with the organization? How do they get connected with you?
They are basically court ordered, kind of like, when you get a DUI, you got to go to class for substance abuse, or when you got domestic violence, you have to go to anger management class. Well, the same principle. When they're behind in child support at risk of going to jail, instead of sending them to jail, they send them to us. And they are basically ordered by the court system. Judge Christian Roots and Judge Bailey basically runs the child support, I guess it's the court system, the child support court system. And they come to Lillian's office with the child support enforcement, but then the judge ordered them to come. And we take them through a series of 24 weeks, talk about relationships and the financial responsibility, and just help them be a better father. So it's been really good.
With between 22 and 44,000 cases on the books here in Wake County, what are you finding are some of the primary reasons that, and it's not just fathers, I know, but the absent parent is I don't know, maybe not all of them are delinquent, but struggling to make those child support payments.
Correct. In Wake County, we have about 79% of our cases that are under order, and of those, at least 50% of them are under wage withholding or garnishment. So they pretty much have ongoing jobs where we can deduct the wages from their salaries. But in the last couple of years, we've seen even those cases change over but with the economy dropping and people having to go out and look for other jobs and losing their jobs. And but the ones that we typically have to take to court are the ones that that are not aggressively paying their child support. So those are the ones that I think Glen's program would typically look at. A lot of times, however, because we have been working with him for a couple of years, we have found that we like to do referrals prior to court to see if the non-custodial parent will go and benefit from it. And we have made some of those referrals, and we've seen some progress with that as well.
And a lot of the guys, one of the reasons, we could talk about this later, is relationships. If you can't get along with your ex-wife or your ex-girlfriend, they fight one another, and consequently the kids are just one that's losing.
Suffer.
And so we don't just talk about the financial responsibility, even though that's a major emphasis, a major part of it, because the mom needs financial support. My own personal experience, how I needed my ex-wife child support money, and she paid it pretty regular. That was, I had no problem with her child support, but I needed that money for my budget. That was the budget. So when the guys don't pay it, it puts her in a bad light. She can't pay her bills based on them not getting the child support. And so relationships between him and her, a lot of times it's the issues because they can't get along. And because they can't get along, they don't pay child support. And then the kids suffer. So we try to teach not just financial responsibility, but also relationships. And I tell them that the court system can't fix this. You've got to fix this. You as two adults have got to sit down and say, hey, we got kids, and we got to finish what we started, and that's raising our kids.
Absolutely. And you brought up an interesting point in saying that you needed that support. The parent, the custodial parent, needs that financial support, and when you don't get it, it can actually impact an entire community. It can cause that custodial parents to need public assistance, and that's why it's so important, I think, for people to understand. Someone may be watching and saying, oh, well, we don't have that problem, this is not our concern. But Lillian, talk a little bit about how this really does impact the entire community.
Well, and that's one of the things we've seen with Fathers Forever program. It is about relationships, because after all, the child support enforcement program is about the children. It's not about the mother, it's not about the father, it's about the children. And our one part is, how can we assist the family in establishing the financial support for them? But what we see with Glen's program is once they make that connection or that realization that it's more than just me, or it's more than just her. We have this beautiful child or these children, and so we're going to figure out together how we can make this relationship work, and that benefits the children so much more.
Absolutely. Let's talk about the results of this program. You've been up and running for a little over 2 years now. What type of results have you seen so far?
It's been very good. The first graduating class we had, our class is for 6 months, 24 weeks. The first graduating class, we graduated 25 participants. And that was in December of 2010. And out of them, a large percentage of them had jobs. The second graduating class, which was June, this past Father's Day, we graduated 50 guys. And out of those 50 guys, about 80% of them had jobs. The other 20% was looking for jobs. And then we talked about the relationship now has increased. It's better with the mom, the ex-wife. And also, their child support payment has gone up, significantly. And the guys, when they graduate, they're saying, I never thought about it that way. I never thought that my absence or my presence would make such a big impact on my kids. So I know for 24 weeks seems to be a long time, but it takes a while sometimes to undo some things that's been done over your course, especially if you haven't had a father to model fatherhood yourself. And so we go through a lot of classes, and we do a lot of things about anger management. We teach them how to deal with their own anger. If they don't deal with that and unforgiveness, how they need to put their past in the past and move on with their life. At the same time, that parental responsibility is a major issue, and they got to take care of it. They got to go through the court system. They got to comply with the court system. This is what the court system says you have to do, and you got to do it. And it's not a bill, but it's a responsibility, and you can't put it at the end of your budget. I can pay this if I get anything left.
Right.
It's not,
right.
because actually this is the only bill that if you don't pay, you can go to jail. So it needs to be up there with the rent, the light bill,
Right.
the phone
High
bill.
priority,
It needs to be up
absolutely.
there, and we try to get them to understand that and change their whole thinking about their responsibility as fathers.
And Lillian, from Wake County Division of Child Support Enforcement's perspective, how has Fathers Forever impacted the program and the men coming through it?
I can see, we've not done complete studies of it from one hand, the money, but what we can see, preliminary studies are that, or preliminary reports show that they are indeed doing better at paying their child support on a more regular basis than they were before going through the program. That in and of itself is significant in that it's benefiting the children just monetarily. What we see in other ways, though, is the fact that we can see that the guys are I say guys because it's typically the men who are paying the child support, but we see that they do communicate better with the mothers of the children, and that, I believe, is a significant improvement.
Absolutely. Lillian Overton, Director of Wake County Child Support Enforcement, we thank you so much for taking the time to share your perspective, the Child Support Enforcement's perspective on this issue with us, and thank you so much for being our guest. Glen, so you're going to be with us throughout the program.
Yes,
we'll talk more with you in
Great.
just a minute.
Okay.
All right. Up next, how Fathers Forever is impacting the life of one man and his children. We'll hear his story after these messages. Today's show focuses on Fathers Forever, a nonprofit organization designed to help absent fathers reconnect with their children and become better parents. With us again is Glen Warren, founder and executive director of Fathers Forever. Also joining us is Michael Ford. Michael is a participant in the program. Welcome to Tarheel Talk.
Hello, how are you?
All right. Now, Michael, I understand that you were not a voluntary participant in this program. Tell us a little bit about how you became a part of Fathers Forever.
In April, I was court-ordered to Fathers Forever. Went to get a modification in my child support, and Judge Ruth ordered me to come to Fathers Forever. She told me that I needed to get more issues straightened out about personal, because our relationship between the mother and me wasn't seeing eye to eye.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about what I guess your expectations going into the program and what you've learned.
Well, I was in one of the former programs, the Working for Kids. So I've been in this program, and it's issued to a program before. So when I thought about Fathers Forever, I said, wow, I'm going to another program. And I didn't really want to be, I was kind of reluctant because I was paying my child support, but I just wanted to get a modification. But like Mr. Glen has said, I didn't build a relationship with the mother. So when I didn't build a relationship, they told me that I had to go to this class. So that's what I was ordered to, that class.
And how has being a part of this program and the classes helped you and your family?
Well, over the few six weeks when I first started, Mr. Glen here told me that you have to build a relationship. You have to ask for forgiveness. You have to do those things to make a positive change. It's just not about you and the mom. It's about the child. So I was sharing my situation with Mr. Glen, and he told me, you just got to fix it, Mike. You got to fix it. You have to be the man, the father, and fix this relationship. So I made that step in fixing this relationship. So my child support is already garnished from my check, so it's not like it's not getting paid.
Right.
It's just that I had to build more communication skills with the mother of my child.
And now that you've done that, what has the relationship been like for you and your children? I can imagine that's made things a lot easier.
Oh, my son, he's wonderful. He's seeing Daddy again. He said to me that he missed me. He just want to be in my presence. Now me and the mother, we change off every other weekend.
Okay.
Mr. Glen gave me a packet to give to the mothers. So I gave her a packet and then introduced, saying that I'm court ordered to this program. Now what? What do I do from here? What do we do from here now? We have to raise our son. We have to raise our child.
Okay, so you just have the one child, just one son?
Yes,
okay,
one son.
Okay. So having that information, Glen, is really what it's all about, is, you know, the information and how to implement it in your lives, in people's lives. That's really what Fathers Forever is all about.
It's giving them skills. It's giving them a way of understanding things that's going on in their life. In Michael's case, and like a lot of cases, like I said earlier, they can't get along for whatever reason. You know, when there's a breakup, there's always anger and frustration, and mine was no exception. But as an adult, we have to get beyond that and find out what's the common good for the child. And working with Mike and his ex-girlfriend, we had a pamphlet that we wanted the moms to see what we were doing.
Right.
To understand that now they're ordered to the Father Forever program. This is what we're working on, trying to help them. And we need their cooperation as well. So when Mike gave her the flyer, she began to understand what we was doing and how we was doing it. And she bought into it, liked it. In fact, she came to class, both of our classes, and spoke to the fathers about how the relationship has improved since they've been to the program.
Right.
And now Mike is back involved in his kid's life. The relationship is better. I mean, things are, so now the kid is benefiting. But there's a lot of barriers, a lot of things that's really preventing couples or ex-couples are coming together. And I tell them, you liked her before. At least you got one, at least one time you liked her. So
Absolutely.
you got to get beyond that. Your anger, your own, and now concentrate on raising your kids. You got your new family, she got her new family, and the four of y'all together now have got to have a relationship with this child, because this child is a very important thing. You're not going anywhere, the mom, the father's not going anywhere, and the child is not going away. So you got to work together to make sure this child is getting the best that he or she needs.
Absolutely. Michael, what's been the greatest lesson that you will take away from this experience?
To tell fathers to be better fathers. This is the year that a father needs to help the parent or the other parent to grow and help their child be a productive citizen, to be a better person, to nurture them, to provide for them, to show them that you can be a better parent. That's because you're not in the home, but you can support them, and you can just be their backbone, and that you could be their father, which is very important to me, because my son is important, and he wants me to be his dad, and I want to be his father.
Right, absolutely. Glenn, how can people find out more information about Fathers Forever?
They can go to our website at www.afatherforever.com, or they can call us at area code 919-779-9905, or our cell number is area code 919-332-5793.
Okay. Michael, I'm going to give you the last word here. There may be a father out there watching today who may be where you were a few months ago. What advice would you give to him about reconnecting with their children and breaking down those barriers so that it's easier to have a relationship with your child?
It's not about them, it's about the child. And once they get past that and their relationship with the other parent, they can be a better person too, because your child wasn't asked to be brought here, but we have to take care of them and be a good dad.
If you weren't ordered to participate in this program in April, where do you think your relationship with your child's mother and your child would be right now?
Don't know. Probably be going through the same cycle we've been going through before I got in this program. So it's been a good challenge for me, and I would love to be in. I'm going to still support this program. I'm still going to be a mentor, or try to come back and speak and tell them my story. So that's what I'm going to try to do.
Absolutely. I'm sure you will inspire a lot of men to step up and to make amends so that we can help to raise the child together successfully.
Okay.
Michael, thank you so much. We wish
You're
you
welcome.
all the best. Thank you for sharing your personal story with us, and thank you for being our guest.
Thank you.
All right. Still to come on Tarheel Talk, how you can help absent fathers reconnect with their children. We'll give you details when we come back. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, 24 million children in America, that's 1 out of 3, live in homes where the child's biological father is absent. Today we're focusing on an organization designed to help absent fathers reconnect with their children and become better parents. Fathers Forever is the organization, and there's an upcoming fundraiser for this group. It's a dinner, comedy, and jazz charity event supporting Fathers Forever that will be held on Saturday, October 29th from 6:30 to 9:30 p.m. at Greater Love Church in Raleigh. Now with us again to tell us more about this event is the founder and executive director of Fathers Forever, Glen. Also joining us is Larry Harrington, owner of Larry's Southern Kitchen. Glen, what can we expect from this event?
Well, hopefully we're going to raise a lot of money, have a lot of fun, eat good food, some soul food. The benefit is going to go to Fathers Forever to help us continue to do what we're doing. We don't have any funding right now from grants or anything, so we're out trying to raise some money.
Okay.
So we ask everybody to come and be a part of this. You go to our website and find out information how you can be a sponsor, how you want to buy tickets, or how you can be just a sponsor, and an event, be part of the event.
And your web address is?
www.afatherforever.com.
Okay. Now, Larry, tell me why you decided to get involved with this event, and what's your role going to be in the night?
Well, on the fundraising event, I'll be catering the dinner. I met Glen 6-8 months ago, yes, in a program that we're working on, in a community setting that we're working on, and we got to talking, and being a father, and I've raised 4 kids, and I enjoyed raising my kids. So I just felt the need. I see the need in the community to reconnect fathers. I'm a little older than Glen here, so I feel like I can help in helping fathers reconnect. There's joy in it, and I don't think there's enough said about how much joy there is in raising a family. I was telling Glen, if I could raise my family over again, I'd do just that.
Oh, that's
I enjoyed
wonderful.
it that much.
Very sweet.
From the fund, I see the need for the fundraiser, and I'm just willing to help. I want to do something. I'm at that point now where the community has been good to me in my business over the 22 years, so I'm ready to give back something.
Okay.
In any way that I can.
Now, how much are tickets?
The tickets are $20 per person.
Okay.
And they get, like I said, a soul food dinner, and they get a comedian, Les Long is going to be our comedian.
All right.
He's a very, very good. We're going to laugh a lot that
Clean
night.
family comedy.
Clean family. Les Long is an excellent comedian. He's very funny. So we're gonna laugh, and we're gonna have a jazz player, and we're gonna eat and just have some fellowship, and then raise some money at the same time. So it's a very, very good event for a good cause, and we're gonna have fun doing it. So we're inviting everybody to come and just buy tickets. You can go online and use your PayPal to buy your tickets, or you can come at the door and buy tickets. So, but we really, really need to get a head count before next Tuesday or Wednesday.
Right. So
we're asking people to really, really to let us know, and go on our Facebook and buy your tickets right away, and invite a friend.
So, and they can go into your website,
They can go on our website, www.afatherforever.com.
And once again, this event will take place on Saturday?
Saturday, October the 29th, at Greater Love Church on the corner of Timber and Crabtree Boulevard. Our friend, Pastor Spencer, Harvey Spencer, has let us use his facility free of charge, and I just want to give some shout out to him and to the Greater Love Church.
Absolutely. This is a wonderful organization helping not only men in our community, but entire families, children, wives, girlfriends, the entire family.
Yes, it's a family affair. Like I said, Les Long is a very, very comedian. Kids, they really can enjoy it. It's clean comedy.
A fun time for a great cause.
And eat a lot of soul food.
Absolutely. We thank you both so much for being with us and telling us about this great organization. That's it for this week's Tar Heel Talk. To comment on this or other episodes of the show, send us an email at tarheeltalk@fox50.com. I'm Sonya Williams. Thanks for watching. Enjoy your week.